Hi, I'm Dr. Janet Allenby, and BTL has invited me to come talk about Emsculpt that I brought into my practice. So hopefully some of the pearls that I can share with you, maybe they'll help you in your own practice. I'm a dermatologist. I've been in South Florida for 24 years, and I was a medical dermatologist 24 years ago because we really didn't have cosmetic back then. And I transitioned solely into aesthetic medicine. So I only practice cosmetic dermatology, and that's been probably for the last 4 years. And it definitely is a totally different mindset. I don't know how many people still do medical or kind of dabbling in both or solely cosmetic, but it is a totally different business model. So if you're thinking about doing it, I highly recommend it. I personally love aesthetic medicine. I think it is one of the most fantastic things that was offered to me to be able to do. And I really enjoy watching people get better and finding devices like Emsculpt that have changed my practice. I'll talk a little bit more about it, but it's actually very exciting. I think there's a lot of frustration in the US with some of the problems with bad reimbursement. People are kind of basically working for free in my mind if they're doing medical, because it's just you don't get paid for what you're doing. Your staff is always on the phone with pharmaceutical companies. So we have a lot of problems in our medical side of it, but aesthetically we know they're cash patients and you have a lot less frustration with a lot of the aspect of the practice. So there was a lot of things that were getting frustrating, so I'm like, I'm definitely just doing aesthetic. I love it, and it has rewarded me many times over. I have two offices, actually two businesses. One is my cosmetic dermatology practice, and the other is a brand new entity called Body Squad. I have formulated just recently, it's only been 6 weeks open, Body Squad, and it's non-invasive body contouring using Emsculpt, co-sculpting, and Thermi for skin tightening and cellulite treatment. So I have, this is me I think this was in June, and you know what? This whole novel mechanism of action was like out of the blue. Somebody's like, you know, there's a machine that'll lift your butt, and that was like, oh my God, that's what I want. So obviously, I have the paddles on my rear, and I'm like, where do I sign? I need this thing. So I appreciate the BTL did a lot of studies prior to releasing this product, because I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of machines sitting in my office that are just collecting dust, and it's a hard pill to swallow when you're spending $100,000 to $200,000 on a machine and you're actually not getting to use it. There's no return on investment, and it's just like money gone. I'd probably rather go to Vegas and spend the money. This is basically the global market. It's a $10 billion market in 2017 globally. There should be an increase of about 11% over the next 5 years. But most importantly is what is new coming in aesthetic medicine. And it's really energy-based devices, body contouring, intimate health. Those are the big ones that are kind of new to dermatologists. We know neurotoxins, we know the fillers. It is really important though to realize what's going to be your future and what you need to know about and what you might want to do in your office. Things that are really impacting the office are, we all know social media. I mean, I think I've taken 100 million pictures. We're posting and posting. You have to be on board with it. It is a trend center. It doesn't mean that I've come to realize the next one is millennials. Millennials are very important, but they're not the money spenders. It's the age above them. But people are influenced by the millennials. So maybe if a millennial's posting for you, you're influenced by them as far as an influencer. The older generation is watching them and seeing what they're doing because they kind of want to mimic it. The way that we're seeing our patient population is people want to look healthy, they want to look young, but they also want to stay relevant with the younger crowd. So they're always kind of watching to see what's going on with them so they can impact their own lives and make it go that way. Men are putting their feet in the water. Steve and I were talking about earlier that men are really about body, women are about face. So the men are really on board with how do I make my abs look good. The dad body, they want to get their old body back. They're like, I had kids, I spent all my time at the Little League place, and I really want to get my body back. So men are very important as an impactful trend that we're going to be seeing. I think the next really coolest thing is that technology it's going to surprise you, the things that are coming out. I like get little glimpses and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Can I have it now? And it's like, oh, that's 2 years away. And I'm like, no, I want it now. So these are things that are going to impact how the space goes in the future. I think also Today it's a different day where people, like BTL has really helped me with Emsculpt as far as getting it out there. Direct marketing, by social media is definitely the way to go with this stuff, because nobody reads print, nobody reads the billboards as you drive by. The radio costs a fortune. So if you're in aesthetic medicine, you got to be promoting yourself. We're like a mom and pop store, and you have companies that are helping you do this, which is very, very helpful. I don't know about you guys, but in the past, again, when I bought a machine, it cost a fortune, but nobody helped me promote it. And that was a huge piece of it. BTL is very helpful in all this, and that's really important when you buy something. Energy devices that we've had prior to 2018, radio frequency, ultrasound lasers, and cryolipolysis, we all know these. Emsculpt, the electromagnetic wavelength that is going to cause a supramaximal contraction. And if you don't know the science behind this, and this is too small for me to, you guys have a lot of people here that can tell you all the science beyond the science. So talk to them because they're going to be very helpful. This is a snapshot of my office, and you can actually see when I went cosmetic only. And you can also see when cool sculpting. I used to do tumescent liposuction, and I was very happy to say goodbye to that one. I got the cool sculpting machine November 2010, and I was like, first one in Florida, but I'm like, what do I do with this thing? You had no idea. There was one handpiece. It really wasn't well presented to us, and it took about 4 or 5 years to get their act together to help us be able to treat people. And then you can also see when Allergan bought cool sculpting, and it even pushed it even farther. The red lines are in my cosmetic dermatology practice. We've done over 3,600 cycles with this. 2019, this is really just the data, and it's the top line there. It's the Body Squad, which is my body contouring only place, and my Allenby cosmetic dermatology place. We've done 58 cycles in 6 weeks. Very first opening. This is a brand new entity that isn't associated to me. My face is not all over it, as I'm kind of well known in my area, but my patients don't know that's me. It's just this entity. So people are searching this out. We're only doing digital marketing, and within 6 weeks, we've already exceeded all the plans that I was expecting in like a year. I'm like, oh, if we can make this every month, we're going to be good. Beyond, it's like crazy. So it definitely, this is for cool sculpting, but I'm sorry, I was talking about Emsculpt. These are typical things that you're going to see with fat reduction. Having the flanks removed, having the abdomen and the sides looking better, bra fat. You got to get rid of the fat. It's a permanent treatment when you're doing cool sculpting, but you don't. There's, the caveat is you're not really getting that healthy look necessarily. You can see the inner thigh gap. And FYI, they are coming out with some new hand pieces that might be very advantageous for this particular problem. You're going to see, obviously you see the body contouring with the cool sculpting on the waistline. You can have somebody who's kind of bigger, and they have a nice improvement. I think that the real key with this is these people are happy, but do they want to be in a bikini on the beach? And I'm in South Florida, so when in South Florida, this looks really good. A smaller abdomen, it looks way better, but she might be more comfortable with a little more athletic body. And that's where the paradigm shift comes in, where a healthy athletic body is so important, because that's what we see on social media. When you see the curves on Kim Kardashian, as much as they're crazy, it's obviously resonating somewhere. People want to see curves, they want to see some strength, they want to see people looking healthy, and they want to be that person. So tightening, toning the muscle is so important, because it's available now. It wasn't available as of June, I think, when the Emsculpt was really made available, or even April. So in less than a year, this device has taken off tremendously. In my office in particular. These are some good, this is a study that was done by Dr. Kent and Dr. Jacob. Consistently, we're seeing about a 19% average fat reduction. We're seeing a 16% muscle mass improvement, and this is the adaptation to that supramaximal contraction. You're going to see about a 4 centimeter reduction in the waistline, and this is a great one for the mommy belly, because people who, women who have had babies, everything kind of just like, it's like a sad look there, and it actually has about 11% reduction of that diastasis recti, which is the mommy belly. This is another study with 22 patients. Again, you're seeing the same things. The patients are happy, and 95% improvement in the satisfaction, which is huge. Probably only fillers are you going to see something like that. Not even, actually. I don't know any device that you really see a 95% satisfaction ratio. People who are not associated to the device can see the before and afters. They can tell the difference of before and after, and you can see it yourself. It's not like it's not obvious here. This is a snapshot of my office doing Emsculpt. I got the device in late August, early September. That's about when we started going with it. And within the first 4 months, it paid for itself. We do abs, buttocks, and thighs. And it really is impressive. This is like a total game changer in my office. That's why I did this new company, Body Squad, because it's something that, one, cool sculpting by itself or fat reduction by itself isn't going to fly as far as being able to sustain a practice. But when you add muscle toning and something that you're going to be repeating, because if you go to the gym, you got to go back to the gym at a certain point, and you are going to be doing this on a regular basis. And absolutely, I have people in a membership system already that they're like, I'm ready for my next one. And they usually will do multiple sites at once. So maybe they'll do their abs and like, oh, I think I'll do my butt too. Do you have time? And then we just add it on. So it definitely is just a huge rolling on itself, getting better, getting better, getting better. Again, these are the numbers for red is for my cosmetic dermatology practice, the new practice. It's like neck and neck, and it's a brand new practice, and it's already like just banging it out. So we're really excited about how much reception there is from the people who have no idea what's going on out there. They'll call about cool sculpting, and then when they come in, we'll say, hey, did you know we can also tone and tighten you and you can get some muscle on you? They're going crazy over this. This is, you're going to have more men patient with this. Again, men are about the body. This is a cool picture because you can tell a lot of men have visceral fat, and when you do things like cool sculpting, you have to be able to touch the fat on the outside of the muscle. So you can pinch it and they're treatable and it's a permanent reduction. But now we actually have something, and this is totally anecdotal. They are trying to do some studies, but it's not that it's reported, but I will tell you, reported in my own office, people's visceral fat goes down. So, when they come in, if you have cool sculpting, you're like kind of can knock on their belly and it sounds like it's reverberating. This is the fat that reduces. And in 1 or 2 treatments, you actually see it going down. When you're doing before and after pictures with this, the best time to take it is really about 6 to 8 weeks after the treatment. People immediately feel stronger. And I was sharing earlier, when I had that picture of me with the little paddles on, I did my abs and my butt when I was buying this. I went home like 2 or 3 days later and I was swimming. I was like, I can swim. Unreal. It was like I was Superman, Supergirl. So it really is amazing on how much strength you feel right away, which makes people feel healthier. You always want, obviously, people are wanting to be healthier. They want to be, they want to feel like they're involved with their health, and this is a way to get them there. This is a jump start. This is another example of a treatment of the abs. This is of buttocks with the Emsculpt, and it's for the buttock and the thighs. Again, on the abs flattening out, and this is more, you actually, because if you're in aesthetic medicine, you're always doing pictures, We're kind of like making it a blanket statement now. Everybody is getting before and afters. You don't see the face, so everybody's happy to show their pictures versus, when you're doing faces, it's a little harder to get people to give the consent to having these pictures. Getting the butt lifted, the entire butt is recruited. It makes the skin looking like a little tighter. So you definitely are seeing some huge changes in contour, but also the texture of the skin is even looking a little bit better. Again, this is an abdomen that just, it got stronger, and it also just went flat. So if you want to be in a bikini, this is really how you want to look. In my office, we usually do 4 treatments on average. Sometimes somebody's called deconditioned, meaning they're really out of shape. You might have to do 6 initially. You don't have discomfort afterwards. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so sore after. And you really don't, because they put in the protocol a way to not let that happen. So I think that's a really nice way. Usually you do it in about a 2 to 3 week span if you're doing 4 or 6. I have most of my patients, it's recommended to do a booster, is what I call it, in about 4 to 6 months. I have people, and I'm in Boca Raton area, so everybody wants to look super hot. They're coming in almost monthly. They're like, I want to do it, I want to do it. Even if you're like, well, maybe give it 8 weeks, don't give it 4 weeks. They're like, no, I want to do it now. And there's actually no contraindication to doing it more often. They're just going to be toned longer, quicker, and actually probably more muscle strength at that. The awesome thing about this is your staff can put the paddles on them. You don't have to do anything. You put the paddles on and you walk away. And you're in the other room doing your injections, doing what you like to do, or seeing derm patients, whatever you like to do. But you really are not necessarily involved, and your staff will go in there, turn it up a little. And if you haven't been on the machine, you're probably going to sign up for one. If you actually feel that thing, you're like, okay, I want one. It's a joke in my office. Everything I buy in my office is for me. So it's like when I see something that really is meeting the needs that we're not getting met somewhere else, I'm on top of it. It is very important to me to be able to deliver things that I feel good about. You know, I want to make sure that I'm healthy and my patients want to feel the same way. You know, we're all in the same group. I think there is FDA approval for an arm device, which is coming out, because I think that's kind of the missing link right now. The arms, for most of in my derm practice, is the women's. Actually, for men, I mean, men are all about arms and flanks. Women are about anything from the belly button down, then it's the arms afterwards, but they definitely, it's like the entire body for a woman. You can do memberships. Again, there are different membership venues out there that you can get people into as far as like scheduling, and they get billed on a monthly basis, and they're deciding how many pulse or how many treatments they're going to have over a period of time, and that way they're getting a smaller payment on their membership system. And that's just part of aesthetic medicine, is you got to figure out how to make it affordable for people. You have to do financing in your office. You have to do these things that make it easier, and especially the younger people, they like to see a payment instead of like a lump sum. You know, they don't want to spend $2,400 on something. They want to spend $120 every month just getting billed on. So it changed my office. It allowed me to be able to open a whole nother practice. I'm sorry, it's like I'm not done there. It changed my whole practice. It really did. It's really true body sculpting. Fat reduction alone is not it. You have to build muscle. You have to shape these people out. Now that it's available, you know, if it's not available, obviously that doesn't work. You can combine it with other stuff. I combine it with, again, skin tightening, cellulite treatment, non-invasive things. I'm definitely all about non-invasive. I don't want headaches. I want things as simple as possible. Body contouring in my office should not be something that they have to change their lifestyle. They can continue to do in the gym, or if they don't go to the gym, they don't go to the gym. But probably more than likely, once they feel better and they feel stronger, they're going to adopt a healthier lifestyle, because that's what everybody's looking for. Again, arms and calf paddles, we're excited to have them. Guys are a little bit more about the calves. Women are a little bit more about the arms, but I think once women start seeing calf changing, I think they're going to be a little bit more on board. You know, it's the shape. Everything is about shape, whether we do fillers or we do body contouring. The shape is how people perceive us, and that's how we always have to keep it as well done as possible. So actually, I really appreciate BTL for coming up with these technologies that allow us to really be able to bring it to another level. So any questions? Uh-huh. Okay. The question is, how do you do membership pricing? Actually, in my office is actually both of them. The real key is, first, they have to do their core 4 or 6 to a body site, and then they're allowed to have a membership. There is a certain amount of, when you sign up for an Emsculpt machine, that you only can advertise certain prices out in the world. So you kind of have to make them a member, and once they're a member, you're internally giving them different prices. Initially, on average, when I'm doing these packages, you know, the advertised price should not be below $750. However, it tends to go a little bit lower, especially when they're going into the membership. It depends. I had a woman, she plunked down about $12,000, and she's got like about 24 cycles that she's going to be doing. You know, it's like, it's probably going to be no more than a reduction to about $400 per treatment with the membership. Okay, but they have to be a member because they have to treat initially. And I think that's where it's important. And if you're doing some sort of ability to finance, or you're doing some ability to be able to, give them a monthly payment, that's a better way to go with that. Any other questions? Has anybody gotten on the machine yet? No? You got to try it. This thing is amazing. It is a game changer. So, all right, thank you for your attention.